You can find my friends in the country where they fill me, where the bobcat spear and the blacktail roam, where the dirt road ends. That's where you can find the real me. Hear the yippee coyotes yelling, welcome home, welcome home.
Alrighty. Welcome. All right, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Office with me. Thank you for tuning in. This is Inside the Office with me, Sheriff Briese. I just want to thank everybody for staying engaged and continuing with this informational piece. So today we'll probably be talking, I'm guessing, a little bit about our winter storms we all went through, as well as some of the stuff we're working daily to bring recovery and resources to our county. But before we do all that, first of all, Ralph and Lana, hello. We will do, like always, our look back. So our March look back was steady, busy, and we had 2,217 calls for service for that month, and jail steadily rocking at 52 jail bookings for the month. So busy times. And on top of busy times, Mother Nature was letting us know who was in charge. So we were busy during all that. But first off, I do want to just, tip my hat to all the first responders, all the staff at the sheriff's office, some out in the field, some not in the field, but everybody working together to ensure a coordinated response, to ensure safety is our number one priority, and that you, Mariposa, was taken care of to the best of our abilities. And like I said, these storms were, storm on storm, I guess is the best way to say it. We pulled out of the Oak Fire, and then we went into heavy snow, and then we went into heavy rains. So the prior year, I think we had heavy winds. So I think we've hit about everything, minus maybe an earthquake. So let's just not do that. But in reality, like I said, all of our volunteers and our sheriff's office staff working around the clock, putting in the long hours, sacrificing their own personal duties to make sure that the calls for service were answered, and the calls were answered as quickly as possible, but also just putting themselves in danger and going into these high water areas and heavy snow loads and snapping trees everywhere. I'm just thankful that nobody got hurt and everybody did a really good job. So thank you, volunteers, as well as all staff. And then all of our county partners. So when I say county partners, that is everybody in all these different county agencies, from road department to health and human services to the county admin office and the auditor's office, and everybody coming together to make sure that a response was there. I know road crews were working around the clock, and but the coordination and the communication was there. And then also the daily briefings and all the paperwork into things to make sure that finances were tracked and damage was recorded, and that all that paperwork we also route accordingly to our state partners as well as our federal partners, and to make sure that they know that outside of public infrastructure being damaged, your roads, your bridges, trees landing on stop signs or houses or whatever, or I shouldn't say houses, would be like a county office or a county building. That's your public assistance side of things, and but also being able to have the documentation and have your support as a community to document and quickly and accurately the damage everybody had incurred. And that's what really pushed us to push this individual assistance through the FEMA. And it also couldn't have happened without the good relationships with our state and federal partners. So when I say federal partners, our representative, Tom McClintock, was very receptive to our conversations as well as his team. And immediately we were able to work together on our teams to show not only the damage, but the factual documentation and what not only the public portion has received, but our community, individuals, what you guys are facing and what you're impacted on. So, it's all kind of teamwork, even at, local, state, and federal levels, but that teamwork is showing through. And on the 3rd of April, the President of the United States added Mariposa County to that declared disaster. So that's, again, working together to ensure everything that we can do, we are doing for you, the public, citizens, but also our dollar is the same dollar, down in the valley. So we have a lot of conversations going on regarding the criterias for small rural counties and how kind of the one size shoe model doesn't really fit for small rural counties. And I'm not talking just Mariposa County. We're getting the conversations going for all of our small rural counties and partners across the foothills. So hopefully we'll be able to change that in the future if we do have disasters. But for this specific disaster, we worked really hard and together to provide the information, but to get it done in the quickest amount of time as possible versus what generally is thought of government as being slow. So very proud of everybody that worked on that. And that is a team effort, meaning everybody coming together, working together for the good of the cause and the good of the order of making sure that, we help each other out and, driveways and trees and all the things and roofs collapsing. I mean, that's a financial impact on everybody. So if we can get assistance and help, we are going to continue to be that voice for you. So just to give a couple updates on when we move through this storm, the really key to the success too was everybody in Mariposa affected taking the time to fill out those damage surveys put out by our sheriff's OES unit. So, I just appreciate everybody's support on that, and that everybody, believing in us and working with us to know that we are preparing the documents and paperwork as quickly but as accurately, so that the facts can get to where they need to go. So the recovery and resources that are available can start flowing our way. And also during that process, we will always be posting or providing any of the assistance needed or where you can go for that. I know we talk about different recovery and assistance centers. And so with the where is it here? So with the FEMA, they will be soon setting up what they call a DRC, and they'll actually be setting up two because of our county, being so spread out. From what I'm being told, is the DRC, and which is called a Disaster Recovery Center, is basically going to be both here in the south portion of Mariposa County, and then in the north portion of Mariposa County, so that we utilize our population bases without having undue stress. So it's really nice that they're open to working with us and understanding that we are not congested housing or city blocks. We're a rural country, and we have long ways to go sometimes to get places. So I do appreciate that. But as those centers set up, they're going to have the teams, they're going to have the information, they're going to have the people on site, as well as all the county partners working together to make sure that information flow gets out And if you don't have the information, we're going to do our best to always have it on county, websites, the sheriff websites, the social media sites, whatever we got to do to make sure that people know that if you are affected by these storms, that these centers are specifically set up for you. So as we move through these storms, I did give a report out to the Board of Supervisors, but basically we had 393 submissions in the damage surveys, and then as those survey submissions come in, then the teams went out and they're vetting, the type of damage from major to minor to total losses, and then also verifying, because we did get some submissions that were not in our county, so we had to cut some of those out. So it came down to about 300 and verified 365. But business impacted or affected by these winter storms were 34 businesses in Mariposa County. Total losses at the time I got the report was 11 confirmed. There may be a couple more as they're continuing to assess. But major damage was 72, minor was 136. And then we broke it also down for the board meeting, just so each supervisor would realize the impacts of their district. So District 1 was at 116, District 2 was at 77, District 3 was at 20, and District 4 was at 75, and District 5 was at 77. So just kind of puts it in this perspective that when we say all of Mariposa County was affected by these storms, that's a lot of miles and a lot of, or I guess a lot of square miles and a lot of acreage that we had to spread all through the county. So, but like I said, good things coming, because you have professionals and good people working for you here at the sheriff's office and at the county levels and at the state levels and at the federal levels. Everybody was engaged and having conversations with each other to make sure that everything we do was for you. So with that, part of the other players that I forgot to thank, I should make sure I throw it out there, but our friends with Red Cross and all that as well. When we're going through these disasters, they're here at a moment's notice. So thank you for that. And if I leave anybody out, I do apologize. But like I said, it's been a long winter, and I'm looking forward to this nice, beautiful sunshine. And we're going to have a good year. So regarding sheriff's office, kind of higher risk incidents, on top of dealing with floods and snow and rescues, we also had regular law enforcement services going on. So I'm going to just point out a couple that also impacted resources but had good positive outcomes. So we had 2 incidents where they were barricaded subjects inside residents. One even involving barricaded with potentially a juvenile inside as well. But I just want to give a shout out to our team of professionals that work through de-escalation tactics, work through the training and everything that we do. And basically those results resulted in safety and a safely removal and completion of those investigations. So the trainings works. Your deputies and dispatch and everybody are working hard for you, but also working hard to have positive outcomes in tense situations. Unfortunately, we had a documented gang member who was also active on parole, basically reported as burglarizing our newly established Creekside Apartments and in a apartment. But again, the initial call was a tense call because it was a 911 call and the juvenile was identifying a stranger in the residence. But quick response, and then through investigation, they learned who the individual was, and he was apprehended and booked into jail. So all positive outcomes, nobody got hurt, and we're doing business out here, and like we say, and come to enjoy Mariposa. But if you want to come victimize our people, then please stay away. I guess that's a nice way to say it. All right. Upcoming events. We have, if you have your pins handy, April 8th and 9th is Mariposa Gym Show. April 15th is Raymond Day Parade. I know that's Madera County, but a lot of Mariposians do go down there. So we also have the Civil War reenactment, April 21st through the 23rd. The FFA dinner dance is April 29th. And then coming up on May 6th is the Butterfly Festival. So a lot of good stuff coming. So we need to continue to hope for blue skies and sunshine. And I do have a number here. As this FEMA stuff gets rolling, I think it's important that basically if you're looking to apply for the FEMA disaster assistance, the helpline is 1-800-621-3362. There's a disasters.gov or disasterassistance.gov, sorry, also on the website. And then if you basically had damage from the severe winter storms and flooding that occurred on the 21st of February and continuing, and your homeowners and renters who are damaged or lost are a direct result of the storm, and you live in Mariposa, is one of the 7 counties that has been listed so far. Those are the starting numbers that you do. Oh, you can see that. So what I was talking about earlier, I won't bore you on it, but we are going to, as we roll out a disaster, we are going to continue to work with the Congressman's office on identifying the criteria for applying for these incidents when disasters do strike. And what I was saying is, in our small rural counties, we don't have some of the easy qualifying check boxes that maybe somebody in a different county that has more cluster style housing or smaller radius of homes. For like us in Mariposa, our minimum homes are 5-acre minimum parcels. So you start adding parcels up, and sometimes people have more than 5 acres, but that's just the minimum. So one of the criteria is when we're really pushing for this individual assistance is we have to check off different things, such as 25 homes affected with 40% of the assessed value damaged. And then we have to look at covered or not covered the insurance. So there's other things that go through that criteria. But what I'm trying to say is I think our smaller rural counties that have those obstacles but are still affected by natural disasters, be it fire, floods, snow, I'm hoping that we can work together to find a positive resolution to basically change that criteria for our certain geographics, and then we will be able to come up with a way to have an easier way to apply when disaster strikes, because the disasters are similar, but the cost and the real life out-of-pocket money is the same. So hopefully we'll continue to work through that. It seems like it's picking up some positive traction, and it will benefit not only Mariposa County, but hopefully all of our neighboring partner counties. So I think it'll be a good project for all of us to work on, hopefully not during a disaster, but a good project for if we do encounter another one, that we have better mechanisms. So with that, I think I don't know if we have any questions or anything, but we will. And Ralph and Lana, hello. Glad you brought the sun out today. I am very happy. I actually went out and surveyed some of the other damage and then the emergency repairs, which are going really well. I mean, I know they're temporary repairs, but it's nice being able to drive on the road and not think you're going to lose your car in a big hole. And Colleen, you're doing such a great job. Really appreciate you thinking on these issues. Your foresight is impressive. Well, thank you very much. And, it takes us all working together, and, hopefully we can make some good change and positive change to benefit all of our communities. All right. So we are going to wrap it up again as we work through all these FEMA and all these other processes. There's going to be a lot of outlets of getting information out, and that's just to make sure that everybody we can touch some way somehow, so they know that there are mechanisms in place. And then other than that, thank you very much for tuning in to Inside the Office, and we'll see you next month. Unless there's something major going on, then we can always pop on. So have a nice weekend, Easter weekend, and thank you. Bye.
You can find my friends in the country where they fill me, where the bobcat spear and the blacktail roam, where the dirt road ends. That's where you can find the real me. You're the yippee coyotes, young. Welcome home.